Serious illness is always a harsh test, not only for the person who is ill, but also for people close to that person. Especially if we're talking about a long, chronic, recurring illness which requires regular care. We're talking about illnesses when doctors' forecasts are ambiguous or worse, unfavorable. Those situations are always hard. As a fact, we're talking about situations of chronic stress, which may often lead to emotional and physical burnout. If you feel like you can relate to this issue, then let's talk about how you can help yourself while still providing care to a loved one who is ill. Let's start off by saying that finding out about the illness is always stressful, and no wonder. It's such a big threat to your own well-being and happiness. Illnesses tend to bring serious changes, not only to the lifestyle of a person who's become sick, but they also influence people close to him or her. Illnesses often force us to make changes in our priorities, our life strategies, and just our everyday habits. All of a sudden, everything has to change. Speaking in biological terms, suddenly we're forced to make the changes in our environment, changes that we're often not ready for. In a way, a move to another country is somewhat similar, because there we have to learn an entirely different language, we have to adapt to a new culture, traditions, norms, and laws. Any rational person understands that he or she needs time to adapt during this move. And the same goes for situations where our loved ones get sick. Time to adapt is so important, and it is exactly what you need to give yourself, because caring and supporting a person who is ill can become a serious trial. So don't force yourself into care immediately. Give yourself time to adapt. Adaptation becomes more difficult when a person faces a situation that is uncontrollable. First of all, that may be due to a high level of uncertainty. Is the diagnosis right? How long will the illness go on for? Which tests and procedures have to be performed? Secondly, we lose control because we're unable to get rid of the stress. That is, we're unable to get rid of that illness upon our wish. It's just there, regardless of our wishes. Thirdly, our control over the situation wanes if complications begin, and that's impossible to get ready for. It's tough to adapt to them. And in this case, regaining your balance after another shocking piece of news becomes the most important thing that you can do for yourself. So let's talk about the things that you can do to regain your balance. First of all, it may be helpful to recall the airplane rule. First, put the oxygen mask on yourself and then take care of your child. This is so important. First tend to yourself and then tend to your loved one. So if you are the person taking care of an ill person, make sure to first tend to your own needs and then turn your attention to the care of a loved one. Why is that? Because taking care of anyone, especially a person who is ill, takes a lot of physical and emotional energy. This is why you have to take care of the basics. Make sure that you have enough rest, sustain a nurturing diet, and get a healthy amount of sleep every night. Also, make sure that you receive enough positive emotions. What do you receive positive emotions from? Is it watching a sitcom that makes you laugh? Or is it going on a stroll or a jog once a day in the park? Do whatever you need to receive positive emotions. It is also vital for your own life to continue. It is important for you to continue moving towards your personal goals, not to forget about them. Do not forget about your own wishes in this stressful situation. And sure, you'll be moving at a slower pace than in a normal situation, but you still need to feel like you're moving towards the fulfillment of your own wishes. Please find the time to make those steps towards granting yourself what you want. We don't choose our illnesses, This is why we often fall into the trap of unfairness and feel like a prisoner of the situation. And this is when we may start getting angry at the situation and say something like, this shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have gotten sick. This shouldn't be happening to me. But these laments are not only meaningless, but they can also drag you into a whole new spectrum of negative feelings and emotions that often lead to depression. So start off by changing the wording and saying something like, I didn't want for this to happen. I wouldn't want this to be happening in my life right now. Try saying this. Do you feel the difference in your emotional state?